What's up, guys? Mike, the UK Urban Prepper here, and today we're going to go through 10 things you wish you'd bought before SHTF. These are things that I originally didn't think of when I was just stocking loads of food and water, because I'm not going to put them on the list because you're already doing that. These are 10 things that you might not have thought about that I had on my wish list that are now part of my essential preps. Number 1. This is the simplest, easiest one. Duct tape. You might already have some around the house, but how much have you got and is it enough? Duct tape has a various amount of uses. The list is endless. It can be used to repair tools, to repair vehicles, to do any sort of temporary fix on anything, even clothing. It's waterproof. And if there's a nuclear fallout situation or any sort of dust kicking up from any sort of conflict or chemical spill, anything like that, it can be used to seal doors, windows, edges, gaps, anything like that. It can also be used as an emergency wound dressing. You haven't got anything or you need something really quick, duct tape around it, you're going to stop bleeding very quickly. Duct tape should be part of your preps, and it should be a decent amount of it. Number 2 is walkie talkies. Now, communication is going to be key. If the collapse of society, phone lines are down, anything like that, internet no more, hopefully it's not an EMP and the walkie talkies will actually still work. Now, I strongly recommend you get good quality, something with good reviews and good range, and a set of at least 2. So if you've got one at home, if somebody's going out on a supply run, somebody needs to go and check something, they take the other one. You're in constant contact for safety, and so you can keep people updated. Also, with these quality ones, you can scan the bandwidths and you can look for other users if you so choose to in that situation. The ones that I've got are linked below. All the things that I talk about today will be linked below, and I've tried to find the best prices for you, and I've put them all below, but feel free to shop around yourself. But make sure you don't compromise quality of product for budget. Even if you can only buy one of these things a month, make sure you're getting quality over something cheap that won't last you 6 months. Because in 12 months' time, if all your preps have broke, nobody's going to be happy then. Number 3 is a map. Now, sounds simple enough. You might think, of course, map, obviously. But you'll be amazed how many people, even preppers, rely on GPS systems and navigation on their phone and maps on their phone for everything. Having a paper map could be the difference between getting to a decent bug out location or finding decent cover, looking out for where to go and where to avoid. You can get OS maps, which give you all a little detail. So if you're focusing on a single area, I'd recommend that. However, if you're going further, you don't want to be carrying 3, 4, 5 OS maps. So I recommend something like the one I've linked below that I've got, which is quite a detailed roadmap. It's big enough to cover the country and go as far as I need to go, but it's also got enough detail where I can pick out landmarks and I can figure out where I am and go from there. Number 4 is paraffin lanterns. Now, paraffin lanterns I've been a fan of since I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I was in the American Civil War Society, and we had A-frame canvas tents, and the only thing to heat it was a paraffin lantern, or a candle lantern sometimes. But the paraffin lantern gave off more light, more heat, and the fuel lasted a lot longer. So it's not just better lighting and heat wise, it's also more cost effective. So paraffin lantern, don't forget the paraffin as well, is my number 4. Number 5 is a shovel. Now, I've got collapsible shovels, tactical shovels, little ones, and if you can use them all the time, superb. But I find they're good for little jobs, but it's good to have a decent size shovel. It can still be a mini one, but a solid wooden one with a wooden shaft, and that is going to get the job done when you need to clear a location to sleep in, dig down to make a more covert cooking system. And the one that I've linked that I've got straps perfectly to the side of my bug out bag, doesn't add that much weight at all, and it's a really good practical tool. And let's be fair, you could swing it quite well if you needed to. The next up is water filtration. Now, you say to me, you've got 300 bottles of water in the garage, you're fine. But we've no idea when a situation like this happens, how long it's going to last. So if it lasts 3 months and you've got enough water for that time, perfect, no problem. Once it's all sorted, you can go back and buy more water. But let's just say it's not all sorted. Everything's not back to normal in 3 months' time. You've got to have a way to clean, filter water. Water is essential. 3 days without water and things will start to shut down around your body. So the water filtration I mean, life straws are great, don't get me wrong. If you're walking around on your own, you can have a sup out of a river. Wonderful if you like that kind of thing. I prefer to filter a body of water and then I can fill bottles and use it as I see fit. What I've got at the moment, I hope to get something bigger later on as well, is the Miniwell Gravity Water Filtration System. This is great because it does the job, and it's not only is it going to be handy in a bug-in situation for collecting rainwater and filtering that, but it's also going to be good for bugging out because it is quite compact. Like I say, in the future, I'm going to look at something bigger once we move, but for now, this is perfect. And again, it is a backup. I do also have a lot of bottled water. Next up, we have iodine tablets. Now, iodine tablets are essentially anti-radiation tablets, anti-radiation sickness tablets. They're not Radaway or Fallout. They're not magically going to cure you of radiation poisoning, but it's a preventative measure if there's small doses. So iodine tablets are great. Don't go into the army surplus stores and things like that and get anti-radiation tablets or these gimmicky ones because they'll put a price tag on them, a big price tag. Go to your supplement store, go to your Holland & Barrett's. The ones I've got are linked below. They are $6.99 for like 180 tablets. So it's next to nothing. It's really cheap and you stock up on them. You've got enough for all the family. It's a great prep to have. You never know, especially if you're prepping for that World War scenario or dirty bomb, anything like that. Speaking of World War III scenarios, the next one is the Geiger Counter. Now, it's not this big bulky thing that clacks that you see in all the older films. Get quite compact ones now. You can get really cheap ones. Not sure how much I trust them. Again, I look at reviews, I look at feedback, I watch other videos, I watch what other users have had before I make my decisions. Recommend you do the same. But if you'd like to save a job, I've linked the one I've got below after doing that research. It's a great one. It's a handheld one. They do a mini one as well, which is slightly cheaper, but for the price, this is well worth it. The reason I've got this is because my plan for Fallout, I'm not in a direct blast zone. I think. So for Fallout is bugging in plan. And I would like this to monitor levels to make sure I see how much is seeping in, how much I have to medicate, how much I have to, if it starts to increase, when I have to bug out, and if I even can go outside. It's just one of those things that will give me a lot of peace of mind having. Nearly at the end now. Now we've got a waterproof poncho next. You probably already got ponchos, waterproof jackets, but just make sure you've got the right gear. Make sure you've tested the gear in scenarios. The reason I picked the ones that I've linked below is not only does it come in a lovely array of colors, it can be used as a shelter. It's got the front pocket. It's really durable. Part of the sheltering, it's actually got the eyelets for bungee cords when you're using it as a shelter. So it is actually really good, and it's quality and it's strong. Now, my 10th and last, but by no means least, is the most expensive thing on the list. Now, it's not always about budget preps. You've probably already got one of these in one form or another. It's a multi-tool. Now, this multi-tool is a Leatherman rebar. Leatherman do all sorts of multi-tools, and their prices range from like £40–50 up to £200–300. And the quality, I can't explain to you the quality on these. It's superb. Any other multi-tool I've had, something's gone wrong, something's gone dull, something's not, doesn't quite work right. With Leatherman, never had that issue. And you could use it in the field for a year solid, and it will still be just as reliable as the first time you took it out the packet. This is one thing I would recommend you do not cheap out on. You do not get the replica from the cheap site or from the social media shop sites. I would literally get a Leatherman. Don't believe me? Go to your local hunting, fishing, or weapons store, armory, and whatever's nearby who stock things like this, and they'll tell you exactly the same. I've linked the one I've got below, yet again, but it's a good price at the moment. It's £84.95 as I'm filming this and looking at it right now. How long it stays that price, I don't know. It fluctuates all the time, but I paid a lot more for this a while ago. That's about it. I'm not expecting somebody to go out and buy all of these, but if one thing that I've mentioned helps you, it's something you've not thought about, then that's great. Let me know below in the comments what you think of this list. Let me know if there's anything that you think I might not have thought of. I'm always open for suggestions. Thank you again for watching the video. If you can hit the thumbs up on your way out, also subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's always appreciated. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.